Always, also after we start recording everything, we will jump into the emotions wheel. How do you feel right now? We're always going to do this. This is that. So you start really understanding and choose the 3 that benefit you now. Because today we're going to be talking about being an architect of your life, designing your life to be productive, or how little tips and stuff that help you just get the most out of it. But you got to understand how you feel now to understand how you can move forward. So, like always, pick the 3 that you like, because say today I could be inspired, peaceful, happy. That could be for me. And you can send it to me directly if you'd prefer, to give you a little level of privacy. But how do you feel today? How is that? So start putting that in the chat so we can start moving forward from there. What time? It's 10 o'clock. All right, just a couple more minutes on there. All right, and the last people are logging in. There you go. Start putting in the chat. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Raymond. Violet, thank you. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, guys. All right, just a minute or so, a little bit more till we figure out till everyone gets logged in, everyone gets their cameras on, everyone gets their act right. All right, and soon we'll be switching to the presentation, but we'll start with our first video before anything. So all right, everyone's put it in. Thank you guys for sharing how you're doing right now. Appreciate that. The long morning, but a good morning. So we could go from there. And then like we were talking about today, we're going to be, in a sense, understanding how your own choices impact you. So it's really important to understand the choices you make is very, very important. That impacts you today and impacts you 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So we'll start with the first video. All right, that was a video of pretty much what you could be, or both options of you. It's making small choices every day impacts your diet, impacts your health, impacts everything. So it's a very simple video and that, but it's actually very accurate. Like the little choices you make every day, that choice to study a little more, work out a little more, or hang out a little more, drink a little more, eat a little more. In the long run, it takes a toll on you. Health wise, for the better or worse, financially, for the better or worse. And I guess the right now, this, as you see on the PowerPoint presentation, be the architect of your life. So you will choose what kind of life you live. Kind of very simple, but an architect. In general, an architect is someone who designs a building, designs a house, designs a bridge, but he has to go step by step onto reaching that goal. Right now, if you become an architect of your life, you start looking at your life on different aspects, on how you could improve it, how could you build on it. And that video is actually well placed because it shows how little choices become routine, become habits. And then those habits, 5 years down the line, you're like, holy moly, I'm in a place I never thought I would be. A good place or a bad place. So that's kind of very interesting, actually well placed video for whoever chose that one. And be the architect. So right there is we're going to be giving the basics to start the ability to design the environment, the life you want to live, and habits to influence your decisions daily. And that's really important. Like every day we make decisions, but not every day we think about, does this decision benefit me or does it affect me negatively? Leading to more, and this, if you choose positive things, it'll lead to a better life, better choices, better goals, better values. That'll lead to our next slide. All right, Chloe, could you read the first bullet point and then choose the next person, please? Thank you, Miss Valencia.
Learn techniques to structure options to better outcomes.
All right, who's next, Miss Valencia?
Natalie.
Thank you so much.
Master techniques for presenting choices in ways that enhance desired outcomes.
All right, who's next, Miss Rangel?
Desiree.
Thank you.
Explore how to create environments that naturally guide better decisions.
Cool, and who's next after you, Miss Torres?
America.
Thank you.
Apply nudge theory to subtly influence and improve decision making without restricting freedom of choice.
All right, thank you so much. And who's going to be the next one, America, for the next PowerPoint slide for our preview?
Chloe.
Chloe Red, good choice, but we gotta just keep everyone there.
Ryan.
All right, thank you so much. And remember, in the previews in your workbook, you have to underline in your workbook and stuff, so you could knock that out now, so you guys could take advantage of the little time we have. So, Mr. Ryan, could you read the preview, the first phrase and the first paragraph?
I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions.
All right. And now read the first paragraph, Mr. Ryan. Oh.
Imagine if every decision you made, big or small, was designed to lead you toward your ideal future. What if you could navigate life choices with confidence, knowing you have the tools to steer your path intentionally? This isn't just a dream, it's a skill that can be learned. Welcome to our class on decision making and choice
Architecture.
architecture, where you'll discover the powerful forces shaping your choices and how to harness them to your advantage. From understanding the subtle nudges of behavioral economics to recognizing and mitigating what did I say?
Cognitive biases.
Cognitive biases, You'll gain a comprehensive toolkit for becoming your own decision architect.
Yep. And who's next, Mr. Ryan?
Victor.
All right, thank you.
In this course, you'll uncover the often hidden influences that affect your decisions, from social pressure to subconscious habits. More importantly, you'll learn how to take control of these factors to make more informed, deliberate choices. By mastering the principles of choosing architecture, you can design environments that naturally guide you towards better outcomes, both personally and professionally. When you're deciding your next career move, managing your time more efficiently, or simply choosing healthier habits, this class will empower you to reclaim the decision making power that is rightfully yours. Join us and start shaping your future today.
All right, thank you so much, Victor. Appreciate you, everyone who just read, and that'll lead us to our next slide. All right, what factors contribute to your choice? Like this, you have an example that we've all been kind of faced with, you know, diet's a good one, because what is this, Carl's Jr.? Or I'm not sure what it is, but the burgers look way better, way more satisfying than the menu for healthy dishes for everyone. But these are the little things. I really like that we chose the short animated movie, because like the choices we make, obviously, we could make choices that benefit us, or we could make choices that hinder us, or they benefit us only temporary. So we got to make sure that every choice you make has an end result, good or bad. So like this was just example of diet, obviously. Diet, everyone has different body structures, everyone has different ways to process food. But in the way you could consider food as like a fuel for you, the fuel that impacts you positively, the fuel that impacts you negatively, or maybe it satisfies your ability to get full, the ability to change. But you got to understand that everything has a long-term result. So it's like we can eat whatever we want, but we have to just make it evenly matched. But this will lead to our next slide. All right. Identify that there are things that impact your choice and behaviors outside of your preferences. So we'll watch a quick short 2 video on how to make better decisions, but how to identify different aspects that guide your choice. Because when you look at it, a lot of the choices that guide us are usually where we live. You know, most of us are Latino based or Mexican based, and we eat tacos, burritos, or we eat fast food, we eat different types of food, but we're grown in that. So we kind of have a tendency to make those choices. We all have our late night taco shop. We all got our place to go to, like our go to eat and stuff like that. But we'll go further into detail with this short video.
Someone once said that life is just one decision after another, and I agree. Some decisions are small, like what to wear, but some are so big they'll affect us for decades to come, like choosing a career. When I'm facing a big decision, I make sure I do 3 things. Free up my brain's bandwidth, give it the fuel it needs, and get honest advice from a friend. By eliminating the small choices in life, you save the best of your brain's ability for the really important things. When he was in office, Barack Obama removed one decision from his daily life: what to wear. It was always a grey or blue suit and a white shirt, because he knew the science behind decision making, and that by wearing a kind of uniform, he'd save bandwidth for the really important choices. Scientists studying the brain have seen that all decisions, big or small, consume the same amount of energy. A small decision takes the same amount of energy as a big one. So when you need to make really important decisions, like which university to apply to or which job offer to accept, be vigilant about not wasting energy on decisions that aren't going to make a massive difference to your life. Save your brain's bandwidth for things that really matter. Your brain needs fuel to think, just as much as your body does to move. Thanks to advanced imaging, we can watch the brain working away more clearly than ever before. It's the most complex and energy-demanding organ we have. If you're very hungry, neurotransmitters can't be produced, which results in communication between the brain's 86 billion neurons breaking down, compromising your ability to think and make good decisions. So when you need to make an important decision, make sure you're not hungry. And I don't mean reach for the biscuit tin. Research shows that drinking plenty of water and having a slow-release carbohydrate breakfast like porridge will help you think clearly. Omega-3 is also a brilliant brain food. You can find it in oily fish and pumpkin and sunflower seeds. It doesn't mean you can't treat yourself, but do try to give your brain this kind of fuel too. The final step is to stop the fear of loss dominating your decision-making. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman spent a decade studying human decision-making and found that in big decisions, we're generally more afraid of loss than we are motivated by gain. According to his research, this means we often pick the safest option rather than the one that will have the most positive impact on our lives. Kahneman's got a great tip for getting over this fear of loss. Ask the advice of a friend who's not afraid to drop some truth bombs, even if it means your feelings get a bit roughed up. An objective friend can help you identify the best decision because they're not weighed down by the fear of what could be lost. In the end, the decision is always yours, but it helps to seek this kind of advice. So the next time you're facing a big decision, free your brain from small decisions, give it really good fuel, and seek out a friend who cares more about your future than your feelings.
All right, and there's like how to identify what impacts your choice and your behavior outside of your preferences. Like every choice you make takes energy. That's why a lot of things that are done, it's extremely important to notice you start doing routines. Once you start making certain choices daily, they become easier because your mind puts it as a routine. Like you guys wake up, you go to the restroom, brush your teeth, or you already have a set routine that you don't even think. And as you get older, you'll start establishing these, like your drive to work. You're not thinking, you're acting on autopilot. Your body has the ability to put you in autopilot. Your mind streamlines everything because thinking takes time. Like that video says, thinking is a process, even if it's thinking what to eat or thinking what to wear. The easier you start understanding that, like you have a limited cognition or the understanding that choices take energy. So it's always easier to understand, like it's easy when you don't know what to eat to pick the least healthy choice. When you don't have a plan to go to gym, most likely you're not going to go to gym. If you don't plan to study, you likely won't, because that's establishing, like making a choice takes time and effort. And it's like, could be a 5-second effort window, but your brain is like, I'm good. It's not planned. So it's really important to like set an architect or set certain things. That's why. So we're going to break out into breakout rooms and we're going to identify what things impact your choice, good and bad. So that would be, I'll put in the chat the question. Let me see. So identify that there are things that impact your choice and behavior outside your preferences. So what impacts your choices, good or bad? So that'll be a basic, short, about 4 to 5 minute breakout room. So what's your influence? And remember, pick a person to speak, to see. Once you pick that person to speak, you'll talk to a group of what choices impact your behaviors. So that would be it. So it'll be 6 breakout rooms, and that'll be how we'll go about. So what things impact your behavior for good or bad? What are those things? So everyone start please going out to the breakout rooms and enjoy your guys' conversations.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. I think we're all here now.
All right, we're gonna go random. So you guys see it'll be easy because smaller groups short this. So we'll start with Raymond Fernandez. All right, all right. So what's your opinion?
What was the question again?
I know that's why I just noticed the question wasn't that clear, so that's my bad on that. What guides your decisions, good or bad? So when you're starving at home, what's the first thing you reach for?
First thing I reach for?
Yeah, like what do you? I'm sure you don't go make a salad.
Oh no, like usually I go make a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, that's the quick. All right, and then when you're studying, like what guides your choices? What prevents you from studying?
Loud noises, people distracting me, like in my house, like
Yeah. And is it easier to study or easier not to do nothing?
it's easier not to do nothing.
Yeah, that's the point. Like right here, I guess the gist of what I'm trying to get to is like it's easy to get influenced by outside noises. You're at home, there's a lot of noises. It's like you get distracted and then you go off. So in short, it's like what we're trying to understand is that what guides your decisions. So like Victor, what guides your decisions? What are the things that impact your choice? So say for you, Victor, mute yourself, and what impacts your studying habits, good and bad?
Probably loud noises, my phone,
Yeah.
the TV, anything to be honest.
Yeah, no, for real. You're dead on. You're dead on. And what impacts you to study? Like someone brought up, oh, what impacts them to study? They're all a bad grade. They're like, so what impacts you to study? What's a positive thing?
Um, bad grades and probably knowing if I get it over with, then I'm like not to do it later.
Yeah, that's true. That's simple. Because this is kind of like a simple thing, but it just takes a little bit more a little bit more thinking aspect of it. Because like that video said, it's like every day we make choices. But once we start building routines and habits, the less choices we make and they turn into habits, it becomes easier. Because making a choice gets tiring. Like you have to think about it. You go home like, do I study or do I practice for a sport or do I eat? Like you just want to keep it simplified. So say for example, Emily Cortez, what affects your studying habits, good and bad?
My phone, and I get
All right.
distracted easily.
And what's like your main distraction outside of your phone?
Wait, what?
What's your main distraction outside of your phone?
Loud noises.
Oh, okay. And then what helps you with all the distractions and what helps you still choose to study?
My future, like graduating.
So that you use that to study and then say, do you guys have midterms or just finals or just projects or how's that work for you guys?
I don't know.
You don't know in your class. So what class do you have after this?
English.
All right. So what's like your, would you guys have weekly homework, weekly quizzes, or at the end of the semester a test?
No, it's like a recovery class for last year.
Oh, okay. So you're just catching up, you're just refreshing them. All right, cool. Thank you so much. All right, that'll lead us to our next slide. All right here is learning practical tips and tricks on nudging behavior. Nudging is a concept of subtly guiding people's choices and behaviors without restricting their freedom of choice. Right here, this is what social media is all about. They nudge your behavior by bombarding you with all types of stuff. And the cool thing is, cool for marketing is they know what you like. Everything you click on your Instagram, on your Snapchat, on your TikTok, on your, I don't know if you guys have X or Facebook, but they practice this nudging behavior on steroids. Why do you think that video pops up that you like every time? Because they know how to nudge you. Why do you think those the videos of certain foods, certain sports, certain athletes, certain makeup guides, certain this is the algorithms that you have, they know how to nudge you. They know how to hook you. And they practice in extreme behavior. That's why social media is so interesting in that, because they know you better than you know yourself. Because they know what you'll watch for 2 seconds or what you'll watch for the whole 30 seconds to 5 minutes. So if you can understand this, it's like how they nudge you. Like when you go to a store or Instagram will send you, if you're looking at a certain purse or certain shoes or certain this, Instagram will shoot you a pair of those shoes. Even if the funny thing, even if you have a conversation with someone next to you, my phone registers it and I'll start popping shit up about what we talked about. So you really understand, like you have Siri on or Alexa on, they listen to you, or text message. It's crazy. But you'll start noticing that they practice nudging. Everything you do, they take little tidbits of it and then know how to approach you. They know how to approach you. And that's very important to understand how social media stuff impacts us. But it's vital. It's vital to know that the nudging concept, but you have to learn how to use that for yourself. What can you do to encourage you to study? Like we all mentioned that we have distractions, like, so all right, do we have to go straight to our room so we know we're at least in the somewhat quiet room? Or when we go out when we eat, have something already prepped or something easily accessible, like Raymond said, like I'll go to cereal. That would be the easiest one, so you don't eat other stuff. Or I'm sure a lot of you just go to your room or you get distracted by noises. You start talking on your phone. You start talking to your brothers, siblings in the house, and that nudges you away from keep moving forward on, say, studying or eating or just making right choices. So understanding that like little things to guide you to where you need to go is very important. And understand that you're getting bombarded. You're getting hit with nudges all day through your phone. You're getting hit with it all day. And definitely in LA, you guys got billboards, radio, all this comment of constant nudging that guide your choices. So just consider that. And that'll lead us to our next slide. All right. Now right here is interesting how we're talking, how can you apply nudges in your own life? That's important, So it's like making decisions ahead of time makes it a lot easier. So once you make a default choice, like, hey, when I go home from school, I go straight to my room and study. It could be half hour. That's like already planning to do something makes it easier. Or some of you guys that play sports, like every day from 6 to 7, I'll do an hour of training. Pretty much just kind of setting a general plan, a general idea, so you're not going with the flow. You can lead people to make better decisions or when avoid laziness when you have a build up little habits and stuff like that. And keep it simple, like reduce complexity, making the desired option easier and understand. So it's like you're gonna have to find different ways to nudge, different ways to find ways that work for you. Like establishing habit, like even a time to study, is gonna make it a lot easier. So you don't get distracted by your phone. You don't get distracted, or even little practices. Like in that video, he got called by his friends and he always answered the call. So he would get distracted and leave early and go drinking more, hanging out more, instead of like, all right, let me take care of business and I'll call him afterwards. It's like every choice you make has a really big impact on you. And it's easy to, how should I say? It's easy to get distracted on bullshit, and because bullshit's fun, but it's only temporary fun. But at the end of the day, it's like you got to find ways to provide yourself the right choices. Make sure that provide yourself when you want to study. We've talked about like framing, make it like change the words on it. Like, all right, studying benefits me how? I remember Emily Cortez said, for my future. Why do I study? Because it benefits me where I want to go. And a lot of people like, why don't they study? They study because they get distracted, they get lazy, or that distraction leads them to get lazy. So you got to understand how to like make everything just have value. And the ones like, all right, why do you study? For my future, probably because I learn, maybe because I grow, I become someone. I want to become the person that I always dreamt of. That's why I study daily. That's why I move forward daily. And understanding that, and then also make more certain situations more visible. Like when you go to eat, you already know you have everything prepped, And that's really important for me, meal planning. Because if not, my diet goes to crap. Yeah, sometimes we think like, oh, every day we making choices on what to eat. If you remove that choice on what you eat, you save time, you make that. Like every Sunday, at least I prep all my breakfasts and lunches. Dinner, I leave myself open room. But that makes time easy. I go down, boom, go breakfast that, and go straight to where I need to go. Because that allows me the time and incentive to save time, eat what I want to eat and a little healthier, but different aspects of that. So this will lead us to our next slide. All right, write a list of behavior change. Okay, just answer the first question in the chat. Just answer the first question and put it in the chat. And if you want to send it to me directly, that's by all means. Or if you don't mind putting it to the group, by all means. By all means. All right, so I'll start lighting up the chat. Appreciate you guys so much. All right, a couple more minutes. Take your time on it, but don't overthink it. There's no right or wrong answer. All right. Couple more in the chat so we can continue. Thank you guys. Betty Morby, thank you. Tiana, thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Ryan. All right, cool. So since like you guys are kind of getting the gist, it's like understanding ways that benefit you. And it's like taking a look at this and it's like you want to find ways. I know it's easy to say. We could all say, I know hundreds of people that say, I want to change. I want to do these cool things. I want to go to school. I want to do this. But one thing's listing it out. That's step one. But the next thing is actually doing it. Because a lot of things people don't consider is like, why don't I get what I want? It's like most of the time we don't do the work. That's simple, So it's like very important to do that. And I have to work on myself too, because I have tendency to be lazy. Why wake up every day at 6 in the morning when I went to sleep at 1 in the morning? It's establishing routine. It's establishing like I need to take care of business. I need to do that. It's easier to sleep in, put the snooze button and sleep in. So it's like kind of trying to design the best life for yourself. It's easy to say, yeah, I want all this cool stuff, I was just helping out in some juvenile hall school. And a lot of these kids are like, I want Maseratis. I want this. I was like, bro, you guys got to stay out of jail. Stay out of this. Everyone wants a Maserati, but what are you doing to get it? You got to start with the basics. You got to finish high school. You got to finish, learn some skills that are valuable. You got to move your life forward. So it's very important. I know some of these things could, at your age group, could be like, man, I don't care, I just want to get past this and go to my next class or hang out with my friends and stuff like that. And it's easy. It's easy. It's really easy to get that train of thought. Because I was out of town and there's a group of us like, hey, we want to go see this fact. They're like, I don't care. It's easy to get distracted. It's really easy to get distracted. But if you find something of value or you find a goal that keeps you focused and you start planning to it, you'd be surprised on what you can accomplish. Like really put the work in, really work for it. Like, dude, you guys could live whatever you want. You guys could live the most bullshit life you want to live or the most cool life you want to live. But at the end of the day, whatever I say doesn't matter. It's what you do, but that gives all the power to yourself. And that'll lead us to the next slide.
Oh yeah, this is
Or the next video. Thank you for it. It'll be the next video. Pay attention to this because if we have enough time, we'll do a short breakout room with a better question.
Use every day. From choosing what decision making is a skill we use every day. from choosing what to have for breakfast to making career-defining choices. But how often do we stop and think about how we make those decisions? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have some practical tips to level up your decision-making game. Hey there, decision makers! Welcome back to Proper Improvement, the place where we explore strategies to enhance various aspects of your life. Today we've got a game changer for you. We're diving deep into the art and science of decision making. So, if you've ever found yourself stuck at the crossroads of choices, unsure which path to take, you're in the right place. So let's get started. 1. Understanding your values. The foundation of solid decision making lies in understanding your values. What really matters to you? What are your long-term goals? Knowing your values provides a compass for your decisions. It's like having a personal GPS that guides you towards choices aligned with your authentic self. 2. Gather information. Knowledge is power, right? Well, that's especially true when it comes to making decisions. Whether it's choosing a new job or deciding where to go for vacation, gather as much relevant information as possible. It's like giving yourself the tools to build a well-informed decision. 3. Pros and cons. Break out the classic pros and cons list. It might sound simple, but mapping out the positive and negative aspects of each option can bring clarity. Visualizing the potential outcomes helps you see the bigger picture, making the decision-making process more tangible. 4. Trust your instincts. Gut feelings, intuition, that little voice inside your head, whatever you call it, don't ignore it. Sometimes, your instincts have a way of pointing you in the right direction. Cultivate trust in your inner wisdom, and you might find yourself making decisions with newfound confidence. 5. Learn from mistakes. Let's face it, not every decision we make turns out to be a winner. And that's perfectly okay. Embrace your mistakes as valuable lessons. Analyze what went wrong, understand why, and use that knowledge to make better decisions in the future. It's all part of the journey. 6. Set realistic expectations. It's essential to set realistic expectations for the outcomes of your decisions. Understand that not every choice will lead to instant success or failure. Patience is key, and sometimes the true impact of a decision unfolds over time. Conclusion. There you have it, decision-making demystified. Remember, it's not about making perfect decisions every time, but rather making better decisions each time. What are some strategies you use to enhance your decision-making? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up.
Okay, in a sense, we will shoot. All right, so this is breaking down easy. Of course, decision making is important, but these are all very simple things. Like you saw the video, it's not anything of high dexterity, it's not anything hard, but it's the choices you make that really affects who you are today. And that's cool that you got a big heavy-set cop in the background interrupting the class. So close the door so that that guy can't fuck up the back of the view. That dude. All right. Tell Miss Finley to close the door. That guy a dirtbag interrupting the class. Either way, let's figure it out. All right. This is easy. I'm gonna go one by one. And Chloe, you just happen to be the first one on my screen. Nothing personal. But what's one decision you can make to hopefully improve what you want in the future?
Just start only focusing on myself and myself only. Nobody else or nothing else.
That's a very good one. Thank you, Chloe. Next one will be Carly Jimenez. Same question. All right. When you get yourself to mute yourself, we'll go Miss Carly Jimenez.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no problem. What's one choice that you could make that helps you accomplish what you want in life?
Like how good I do in school? Like
Mhm.
to focus on my grades?
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. And after her happens to be Emily Cortez. What's one decision you could do that helps you get where you want to get to?
Graduating school. Graduating school.
Yeah.
Graduating school.
All right. So what's cool graduating? But that's the choice. But how do you get to graduate school? What's
Oh,
one choice you do to help you graduate school?
my grades.
So maintain your grades. All right. We're gonna go. What's one thing you could do to maintain your high grades?
Do my work.
Cool. Thank you so much, Miss Emily Cortez. All right, Desiree Torres. She's staring at her phone right now. So, Miss Desiree, what's one decision you could do to get where you want to get to? Oh,
To stop getting distracted so easily.
yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Miss Torres. Raymond Fernandez, always distracted, looking at the sky, throwing shit in the air. So, what's one thing you could do to to help you get where you want to get? What's a hard thing you could do to get where you want to get?
I can start listening more.
Oh, that's a good one. Good stuff. All right, Violeta, what's one thing you could do?
Focusing on myself and the school.
Yeah, cool, cool. Thank you. Tihana, what's one thing you could do? Or what one thing you will do?
To study more.
All right, thank you so much. Next would be Miranda Garcia.
Being more productive and stop being
And
lazy.
oh yeah. Welcome to the club, the lazy club. Thank you so much for you're right. America Castaneda, what's one thing you can do?
I could like put my phone into a different room while I'm studying.
Oh shit. That's a good one. I do that at night. I put my phone in another room because I get the habit of just like and then I lose half hour of sleep or hour of sleep, get distracted. That's a good one. Ryan O. All right.
Start paying attention in class so I
What
could get
causes you not to pay attention other than
um
Raymond?
like my phone.
Oh, they allow you guys to have phones in the classroom? Like they don't trip if you use them during class?
Kinda, yeah.
Some people do. All right, cool, cool, cool. And Victor, what's thing you could do to help you get your act right?
Probably get to school on time and do my work.
All right, cool. All right, since we have, how much time do we have, Sheila?
7 minutes.
All right, Victor, read question number 1 on the workbook. Let's try to run through it real quick.
Let me see. Or is it to write a list of decisions and behaviors you want to change, but find challenging to do on a regular basis? Examples: you want to eat healthier food, you want to study after school, etc.
Yeah, we did that question in the chat. So everyone should have that one kind of done. If not, do it real quick. So I want to make sure you guys get most of it done. Thank you, Victor. Ryan O, what's the second question?
Take a look at the list above and choose the one that would have the biggest impact on your life if you changed it.
So what was the question I just asked you earlier? What's the one thing you could do to help you get forward? Ryan.
To pay attention more, I think.
Yeah. These are all the things that I've been asking you that are part of the workbook. So like if you have any questions, let's go. All right, Medica Castañeda, what's question number 3?
List out all the things you could do to nudge yourself in the right direction.
And we talked about nudges, planning one nudge, from meal prepping, have dedicated a study time, find a quiet space. You also mentioned like put your phone away. Already have known like, all right, I'm gonna study. Let me put my phone on silent and put it in another room. Those are all nudges that help you keep forward. All right, next one be Tihana Herrera. What's question number 4?
What? What was the question?
Actually, could you read number 4, please, Miss Tiana?
On what?
On the workbook, please. All right. If you could find it in a timely manner, be much appreciated.
Write out all the things that might get in the way of making those nudges.
All right, cool. We already talked about that too. Cell phones, friends, family, noises, TV. So, those are general ideas, and add a couple more of yourself that really distract you. And then we'll have Raymond Fernandez. What's question number 5?
Oh, what's up? List out all the ways you can modify those nudges.
All right. So it's like, how do you modify that? How do you plan? How do you that? These are all simple questions we talked about during class. But if you start answering, what would be your answer to that, Raymond?
To be honest, I don't even know.
All right. So how do you modify? You plan one things. How do you modify the plan? You have routine. You are consistent. Those could be easy answers that you could do to fill in. And then, is there Emily Cortez? Is there question number 6? All right. So let me know when you get a chance.
From the workbook.
Yep, and the workbook.
Week what?
This is week 9, I believe.
What am I supposed to
What's this? Is there a 6th question?
list out all the ways you can modify those nudges?
All right. Those are the questions that you guys have to answer. I just gave you the answer or the class gave the answers for it. So theoretically, you should have the ability to turn it in today. But if not, you have to 5 o'clock. And but Miss Sheila will tell you what to do. She's the strict one to make sure you guys turn in on your homework. Do your homework. While you're here, at least get paid. Do the work, and you might fuck around and learn something. But here's Sheila. She'll give you the announcements.
All right. Thank you so much for such a great class, Pablo, and thank you everyone for coming in. Like what Pablo said, guys, I highly advise you to answer the workbook and survey today. And if you do have a lot of plans, that's still fine. You still have up until Friday. But if you're gonna answer it today, because you guys have a problem with sending out your workbook using your phone, right? Well, using your school's Wi-Fi. So I highly advise you to send it on your school's device, so that can easily connect you to the Wi-Fi, and you can definitely send the workbook easily if you use that. So I highly advise you to do that right now, since you still have a little bit of time. And then also for the survey, so you don't have to think about it all week. All right. Thumbs up if you got that. All right, thank you. So the next one would be the field trip, which is the Ignite conference. We highly encourage you to go to this field trip. Like I said, it's gonna happen November 16. Free lunch still. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be it's gonna be such an insightful field trip for you, especially for the careers that you'd like to do in the future. And yeah, RSVP deadline will be November 8th. And I know it's still a long way, guys, but it's gonna be next week already. And I'd like you to, if you'd like to go, please do RSVP, so you don't even have to think about, oh yeah, did I RSVP already or not? So I just like you to RSVP already. And if you can right now too, please do save the link that will be posted on the chat below. So I think that's all for me, and thank you everyone for coming in, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Have a
If you guys
wonderful.
have any questions, let us know.
Do you have any question, America? Oh, okay.
No,
They're
they're just
gone.
trying.